Today is stage 7 and the final chapter of the inaugural Nedbank Gravel Burn. It's been an eventful week and they've ridden already almost 700 kilometres of unrelenting terrain in South Africa's Western and Eastern Cape. Riding through starkly contrasting landscapes, from lush coastal forests and windswept valleys to the stark inland serenity of the Kru's semi-arid plateaus. Today's stage takes the remaining gravel adventurers into the Big 5 savanna of the Shamwari Private Game Reserve. The final stage covers a distance of 111 kilometres and 1,250 metres of elevation gain. A few kilometres after the start in Guanishi, the riders face the first climb of the day with gradients of up to 8%. From here, the route rolls and dips across open farmland and scrub. Shortly before crossing into the Shamwari Game Reserve, the day's last section of climbing begins at 70 kilometres with a long descent, almost uninterrupted, all the way to the finish line. After yesterday's neutralised Queen stage, there are no changes in the GC, and South Africa's Matt Beers still wears the Assos Ember leader jersey in the men's race. Second place Simon Pelou from Switzerland is only 33 seconds behind Beers, and it's going to be a tight race for the first Nedbank Gravel Burn victory. The final podium place is also still contested, with third place Hugo Dreschu of France taking a 1 minute 46 second lead ahead of fourth place Lucas Baum into the final stage. Due to a last-minute change to the course, the first 6 kilometres after the race start in Guanishi are a neutral zone. But once the riders leave the tarmacked N10 road and the neutral zone ends, the race is on. Tackling the first short but sharp climb of the day, a large group stays together and none of the GC podium contenders make any moves. From kilometre 12 onwards, Guillaume Geiger and Lucas Baum make the pace at the front of the peloton, but they don't manage to drop any of the other riders. With the lead of the group constantly changing, there's still no decisive attacks, and the front bunch stays together all the way to the first putt style. Around the 55-kilometre mark, disaster strikes for Tom Pidcock when one of the world's biggest cycling stars suffers a puncture and loses touch with the front group. Just before Alisdale, 65 kilometres into the stage, 3 riders, Namibia's Alex Miller, Lucas Postelberger from Austria and South Africa's Johan van Zyl, make a break and quickly establish a lead of around 40 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. But they get caught again quickly by the chase group. After 71 kilometres, the decisive move of the day happens when South Africa's Matt Beers overtakes his closest GC challenger, Simon Pelou, and rides clear of him immediately. He's joined by his 2 compatriots, Travis Stedman and Tristan Nokia, and by Austria's Lucas Postelberger. Near the top of the final climb, as the new lead group is about to enter the Shamwari Private Game Reserve, Beers, Postelberger, Stedman and Nokia have extended their lead to around 40 seconds. Racing through the picturesque game reserve, they continue to build their lead. But then the unfortunate Postelberger drops his chain around 10 kilometres before the finish line and is left behind. With the 3 South Africans now at the front, Tristan Nokia gets dropped on the very loose and windy track about 3 to 4 kilometres before the finish line. As they enter the finish straight, Matt Beers gifts the stage to his loyal teammate Travis Stedman, who crosses the line in 3 hours 14 minutes and 14 seconds, 7 seconds ahead of Matt Beers, who celebrates the overall victory of the inaugural Nedbank Gravel Burn. 15 seconds later, Tristan Nokia arrives in third place, and Switzerland's Simon Pelou crosses the finish line around 5 minutes later, securing second place in the GC, with Hugo Dreschu from France taking the third GC podium place. Here we have the podium of the men's race, with local hero Matt Beers putting himself into the Nedbank Gravel Burn history books by winning its first edition and claiming the distinctive Firestarter trophy. In the women's race, the GC also hasn't changed after yesterday's neutralised stage, and the wearer of the Assos Ember leader jersey, Ashley Montpassio, takes a comfortable lead of 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the final stage. Second place Melissa Rollins from the USA, as well as South Africa's Hayley Preen and American Lauren Stevens in third and fourth place, are the main contenders for second and third in the GC. For the first 6 kilometres, a neutral zone, the pro women leave Guanishi right behind the pro men, and all the main contenders stay together. At the 27-kilometre mark, Axel DUBAU-PREVOT attempts an attack 200 metres from the summit, but her competitors manage to hang on, and the group stays together until the 45-kilometre mark. Around kilometre 47, Melissa Rollins has a mechanical, and Axel DUBAU-PREVOT stops and waits for her for about 20 seconds before pushing on. 2 kilometres later, just after the river section, Hayley Smith also has a back tyre problem and is left behind by the lead group. 64 kilometres into the stage, GC leader Ashia Montpassio drops off the front group when she suffers a mechanical. Clearly enjoying today's final stage, Axel DUBAU-PREVOT attacks around 72 kilometres in, sprinting ahead of the peloton, with only Lauren Stevens and Hayley Preen able to hang on. 3 kilometres later, France's DUBAU-PREVOT finally breaks free, and the 28-year-old doesn't leave any doubt that she hasn't given up on the overall win yet, as she establishes a gap of more than 2 minutes by the entrance to the Shamwari Game Reserve. DUBAU-PREVOT is now in charge of the stage and really puts the hammer down. She keeps extending her lead on the final stage, but also moves back into GC contention because Montpassio lost more than 15 minutes with her mechanical. And after an impressive comeback ride, DUBAU-PREVOT crosses the finish line in the Shamwari Private Game Reserve after 3 hours 52 minutes and 40 seconds, celebrating the stage win and also the overall victory at the first Nedbank Gravel Burn. More than 4.5 minutes later, Lauren Stevens arrives in second and Hayley Preen in third place. And the South African Preen also celebrates third place on GC, just behind second place Melissa Rollins. On the women's podium, comeback queen Axel DUBAU-PREVOT celebrates her Nedbank Gravel Burn triumph, flanked by Rollins and Preen.
Now Matt joins the party, and that fire is catching, it is taking off, and there we go.